Where do we begin? Oh, and we're sponsored by, well, A Man Can Dream.
A Man Can Dream,
Wow,
but we're moving on to the second round against the Battle of Alberta. Let's go!
At least it wasn't Adam Fox. Team that's probably the greatest team to ever face any other team in the entire National Hockey League. Isn't that weird? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Puck and Stuff podcast. I'm T-Dog, that is B-Dog. How y'all doing today? Pretty good. Hockey season's back. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Now, one more prediction video to do. We got the Pacific Division going on for you. I think a few of these might be surprising, so at the end of this, comment what you guys think. What was your predictions for these divisions? Let us know in the comments there. And, hey, this is also sponsored by, what is it again?
Wait, what was it again? Something about a dream. I had a dream.
A Man Can Dream.
A Man Can Dream. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just thinking, because, you know what? Number 8.
Number 8?
Yes.
Vegas Golden Knights, right?
We will wish.
Damn it.
But it's not.
Damn
It's
it.
not.
Okay, so if I'm being realistic, it's the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the San Jose Sharks, they aren't tumbling, but you could obviously see that they're trying to rebuild and also go for the tank of Connor Bedard. And very valid. They got rid of some interesting pieces this season. They got rid of Brett Burns. And honestly, this team is still have Logan Couture, captain, Nick Bonino. Their forward group is still there in a sense. Just obviously it's starting to age, but it's kind of 50-50 in my eyes. And oh god, I forgot about Erik Karlsson.
Yeah, that's
Erik Karlsson.
Something. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, a long time. But this team's obviously going in the right directions for a rebuild. They're kind of tearing it all apart like most do, just rebuild, and that's all I gotta say about San Jose.
Pretty simple. Yeah, like you said, they're also taking it for the Bedard factor. Mm-hmm. I do love some of their pieces, though. I do love Tomas Hertl and Timo Meier. Sorry, players like that, they're not going to want to leave, but. Well, Hertl won't leave, but if Meier was to leave, I mean, that'd be a great... I'm just saying, I would like one more forward piece. He can play both wings. Just saying.
True.
Well, that'd be whenever, but that's a $6 million cap hit. That's a lot of money, so we'll see. But anyways,
we can't
players like that, and Couture's still, even at 33, still putting up points. He still is an impressive player. I do love watching him. San Jose does have that factor where some days, some games, some teams they play against, they play really, really well.
That is true.
But ultimately, there's really no expectations for this team, and I don't think we have expectations either. I was putting them at 8. But Bedard on this team, that'd be kind of cool to see.
Very.
I think he would fit well. But again, same thing. Like all these other players, like all these other teams that are tanking, there are some assets that I really do like. I think like Luke Kunin is a good depth piece. I do like Kevin LeBlanc. Oscar Lindblom now is on this team. Benino's is older, but is there still. Nico Sturm, Steven Lorenz, Noah Gregor, Matt Nieto, Jonah Gadjevich, Evgeny Svechnikov. Another defenseman, Mario Ferraro. That's someone I would like to see, and I think he's got some promise there. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, and then our goalie tandem, Cabo Kakinen and James Reimer. It's nothing too crazy.
James Reimer.
But James Reimer, good for him staying in the league. I do like that.
I do like
ultimately, that. Yeah. They definitely, to me, they're the weakest team in this division, and I think they know that, and I think it's all for the tank.
Honestly, fair enough. I'll also give you the
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. That's funny. And I'll also give you number 7.
I put the Anaheim Ducks.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow. Wow. That was not what I was expecting. You're telling me Trevor Zegras won't save this team?
Yeah. Looking at the NHL, man, it's like the
Cover
NHL's
curse.
golden boy.
Cover
NHL
curse.
golden boy, man. I guess what happens, he's got the personality, that's why, but it's like, man, NHL, market your players better, man. Then you wouldn't have problems like that. Simple as that. Klingberg is a nice asset, but there's nothing against Zegras.
No.
It's just they need to market it better.
Just totally call him out too on it too.
Dude, stand NHL.
Yeah, I
this
mean,
marketing's so mid, man. It's crazy. Like it's like I get so hyped looking at NFL or even baseball does marketing good. It's the funniest thing.
True. It's very true. The NHL's marketing is very mid. But anyways, I'll stop interrupting.
So I mean, they have an addition of Klingberg, but I also saw that being paid for the 1 year for $7 million. I guess it's going to be a trade deadline acquisition. So you can get some good value and prospects out of that for trading him to like a contender. I guess for them to do something good, of course, Gibson would just have to stand on his head again, like he can do. But nothing much was really changed, and I just think this team this doesn't excite me enough that I could see them doing something where they can really progress forward. I'm gonna be honest, Dallas Aikens is the head coach. Like, maybe I'm still thinking about the Oilers days, 10 years ago now, but Aikens' style of how he wants his players to play, I just don't think is good enough really to kind of take that extra step. They do have a lot of draft picks, so that's going to be really nice for the end of the season. They can get their prospect pull up even more, but it's just, as every year as Silverberg and Henrique age, for Toronto was a decent signing, but I don't know. I just don't see Anaheim doing too much. Like I said though, the young players do excite me. Zegras, of course, Mason McTavish is gonna be an absolute stud. Troy Terry and Maxime Comtois. So a little bit of promise, but I think it's a tank session too.
Oh. All right. I kind of see where you're coming from in this sense, but my number 7 was a little bit different, and it is the Seattle Kraken. Yeah. And I kind of see them in a worse state than Anaheim right now, because if I look at what Seattle is right now, their biggest probably their biggest addition in the offseason was Andrew Burakovsky. I really wanted this player for the Flames because I saw what he did with the Avalanche last season, and I loved his game. He was a very strong top 6 forward for Colorado last season, and that was a big loss. Also, I gotta respect their draft addition, Shane Wright. They dropped right to him at 4th. Great steal of a pick for him, so I would love to see how this player develops. But compared to how Anaheim looks, offensively, defensively, they don't have any big names. I see Seattle kind of the obvious rebuilding. They're taking the right steps to be in their rebuild, but compared to the rest of this, I think they do land at 7. That's why I was kind of dropping that.
I think they had a really good offseason. I really do.
They did.
I love all of the Oliver Bjorkstrand trade, or getting Oliver Bjorkstrand, Andre Burakovsky getting signed as well. I think that helps with the depth. I think Matty Beniers and Shane Wright are gonna just have a great time. I think right off the bat they're gonna already have a little bit of impact. I think with these little improvements, I do think they actually do beat Anaheim. I think they win a few more games than expected. And I'm for it. I think it'd be kind of cool. I think the way Seattle's doing their expansion is smarter than Vegas, right? Because I think Vegas almost was cursed a little bit where they got too much success too early and rode that as riding that too long. Yeah. Where I think Seattle knew that it is better to start crappy, and already look what they're like. Just I'm telling you, like, Beniers and Wright they're gonna be like top 10 forwards in the league come 7 years from now, right? That's something to think. Well, very possible. Right, maybe there's a reason why he dropped to 4. That's very possible. But I could see them being that good. Like, there's some promise there.
That is true. That is very true. I'm not trying to take that out of consideration. But just, I see Anaheim as a stronger team still because, like, forward-wise, they're very young forward-wise, obviously. And, God, it's weird to see this team without Ryan Getzlaf on it. That's one thing I instantly started noticing was, like, oh, no more Getzlaf. That made me sad.
No more Getzlaf.
But, like, based on looking at both teams, do I see Anaheim still being, like, 6th or 7th in the division? Yes. But it's really hard to, like, it's not really that hard to beat out Seattle right now because obviously they're tanking as hard as they can, trying to get those good prospects for their future. But Anaheim also added John Klingberg this offseason, and oh wait, did they add Kevin Shattenkirk this year?
No, I was still on
No,
the
he
team.
was always on the team. Sorry. So this offseason they did add John Klingberg, which was actually only for 1 year, but it's still a good addition to your defense. And I still have lots of faith in John Gibson. It is John Gibson after all.
Yeah.
He's still a studded goaltender in this league, which I really hope he does have that good season again. But that's why I'm kind of edging on Anaheim is just a bit better, not by much, but a bit better than Seattle to be at least 6th in this sense. And I think that Trevor Zegras hype is a little bit much since he was able to lift a puck. But anyways, yeah, I'll go right into it. So, all right, you know what?
I literally saw both of the Michigan, or I saw the Michigan goal and then the one where he flipped it up for Milano.
Yeah.
Because I was just, like, before the game was on, I watched like the top plays of the season. And I was like, yeah, like it was really sick. It's just,
It was.
I'm telling you, these defensemen now are seeing these plays. They're gonna know what to do.
Exactly.
They're gonna crank someone who tries that. It's gonna be funny.
It's going to be very funny. But hey, you know what? Fine, I'll give it to you. You get Anaheim at 7, Seattle at 6. That is so worth to see.
Now these next two, I think they could be interchangeable. But my number 5, you okay if I do number 5?
Yeah, go ahead.
The LA Kings.
Valid.
But this is really tough. This is a tough division for me to predict because I can see teams making progress but not at the same time. LA, they made some great progress. They made the darn playoffs this season. But I think there's another team here that I'm going to mention too that I think makes a little better progress. So LA.
That is true. Yeah.
So LA.
LA.
I don't remember. Let's see. They required Fiala. So they acquire Kevin Fiala. They get some scoring, extra scoring touch with their team. Kopitar at 35 is still a great player and still he can still play his position really well. Easily a Hall of Famer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I still love that Dano deal. Man, does he play well with that team? But Kempe, Arvidsson, Iafallo, and then I do like some of the younger players and like Blake Lizotte, Trevor Moore. I guess he's like in prime age, but Brendan Lemieux, of course. Everyone hates Brendan Lemieux, so you already have some grit there too. Mm-hmm. Carl Grundstrom. Let's see what happens with Byfield. You know what? If Quentin Byfield does not have an injury and Byfield can have a great season, that maybe this team actually like solidifies himself as a number 3.
Yeah, that is very
true. And the division, it's very possible. I don't know what it's gonna like as well. The Arthur Kaliyev, I love that. I really do like the players on this team. Like Sean Dursey, can still play. He's just at his age now. I don't think he can play the full 60 games that Suttery would play him. Sorry, Suttery would play him like what 70 games? No, 70 like 8 games or something. Like,
probably just 70 because of his
just
age.
Something like that, but. Peterson, I think, is the goalie is now the goalie of this team, and it's nice that you can kind of have that extra player to like back up on in goaltending. And now that I talk about this team more, like man, I feel like I kind of didn't give him enough credit as due, but maybe this next team that I'll say just I think performs better. I think things just will work out more in their way, but man, LA has a promising future. LA Ottawa 2027 Cup Finals. Yeah.
Very true. Very true. And I'm also going to agree with you. Number 5 is LA. So basically, we have narrowed the Pacific down to 5 teams that could be true contenders for the playoffs. And this is ranked number 5 in the division out of all the teams, in my opinion, because they were kind of in the same sense and the same idea as Anaheim, but I think a little bit stronger because, yeah, you did mention Kopitar, still 35 years old. He's still killing it at the age he is. Got to respect players like that, especially in nowadays. And honestly, young, talented forward group here. You were mentioning Byfield. If he stays healthy, he could have a good breakout season. Kevin Fiala was actually a great addition in the offseason, I could see. Just overall, really good, young, talented team. They did versus Edmonton in the playoffs, which was a really tough Game 7 for them as well. And their defense is their defense is still ran by Drew Doughty in a sense, and it has its young pieces for sure. And you still have your good option 1, option 2. Honestly, I could totally see why that this team could make a playoff spot. It could make a wild card so easily. And oh my God, the West is stacked this season.
See, this to me proves that people don't know what they're talking about when they say the Pacific is the worst in the league. Like, there's 5 teams that could fight. Like, and I know like these teams aren't as strong as some, but I think I look at some of these divisions. I mean, like look at like Phillies in the Metro. Like it's like the top teams are great, but the bottom teams are literally trying to tank.
So out of all the divisions in the NHL, which division do you actually think is the worst? If you truly had to put it pen on paper right now.
No, you know what? I think the Central could be pretty mid. Literally besides like, okay, Colorado, right, Cup contenders. It's that bottom. I don't see like they're the bottom 4 doing anything.
So your worst. Really, so basically, your worst division out of the 4 is the Central.
That's hard. You know what? We'll see. All I know is that I think it'll prove that Pacifics is not as bad as people think this season.
Yeah, that is very true.
That's what I'll say.
That is very true. And I think you and I might have the same number 4, and it's the Vancouver Canucks. Hey boys, if you're curious why we're wearing different outfits today, I'm sorry on the recording. We kind of got busy and we lost some little bits of this last part with the last 3 teams. So we'll go right into it with Vegas. Tito, if you want to continue.
Vegas, yeah. So that would be my number 3. I'm guessing it's your number 3 too.
Yeah.
I really do think Vegas has a bounce back season. A lot of injuries, a lot of problems that struggle with that. But you know what? Cap is against them, but they got a lot of LTIR space to kind of use it. And now that you have a healthy Eichel, and then you add Kessel to that lineup too, I think you're going to get a little more scoring than you did last season. I really do think this team is going to come out strong and produce some dominant outcomes in the start of the season there. I really do think that you can't write the Vegas team off. Especially too, I think Logan Thompson is I don't know if he's underrated, but I think he's definitely proving himself to be that he could be a potential starter in the NHL.
He's proven it so far.
A few games that have been played. Yeah, he's been well and been solid. I was just kind of what I was hearing on Fan 960 there was Logan Thompson doesn't need to be stellar. They don't need stellar goaltending. They don't need amazing goaltending. They just need good goaltending. And I agree with that because I feel like their top 6 can do the rest. And as well too, like their defense. It's good. It's really good. Thank goodness for them that they signed Nick Hague to a friendly deal. What was that? 2.294 per year there for 3 years. Mm-hmm. That's a really good deal. 23 too, so it'll be 26 at that end. But Pietrangelo, Martinez, Shea Theodore, Brandon McNabb, Zach Whitecloud, Nick Hague, and Ben Hutton. Defense as well is solid, and as long as injuries don't come into par or into play with this team, they should be fine. I really do think that. I think a 3rd place is pretty solid for them.
Honestly, I gotta agree with you here. Vegas, I hate your management. You screwed over some players, and I just don't like you for it. But you guys do have a very star-studded team right now, and you are number 3 in my eyes as well. And you look at it, Jack Eichel is coming into his first season. He's already starting to produce pretty well. And honestly, you got Mark Stone with him, William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault, and pretty star-studded forwards. And then you even mentioned with the defense alone, Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore. Players like those are just such big impacts to the game. And you know what? The last few games, I have seen Logan Thompson. He's been proving himself a lot. Especially, I watching him Flames when they played the Flames. Logan Thompson truly proved himself in that game. It took
100%.
Almost 50. Almost 50 shots.
There's points where it's if he wasn't as solid, it could have been it was a 3-2 game, right?
Yeah, it was 3-2.
I can't remember right now, but it could have been, add 2 more goals to that tally there for the Flames.
I do gotta admit they really don't need Robert Leonard right now for sure.
Not missing him at all, and that's good for them. It's just We'll see what happens with the cap, the
Yeah.
whole LTIR thing, but
That is very
they'll
true.
figure it out.
Hey,
So
exactly.
number 3. I guess we'll just go right to number 1, hey?
Yep, number 1. I'll
right.
let you go first. I'm interested here.
All right. So my number 1 is the Edmonton Oilers.
Wow.
This might be a little bit of a shocker to some people.
Wow.
A lot of it really is, I think it's McDavid's year. This guy, he gets better every year, right? I think this is like his year that he gets like 160 points, 150 points. Highest tally. I think he is hungry. He just wants it. And now, I say that now, their start that they're having is very lackluster. But I still believe that they can bounce back and pull it off. I think, and their problem, Campbell, is their goaltending situation is a bit of a problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that, it could just be, it's like anything, any job, right? It takes a little while to just get used to it. So that could be a thing with Jack Campbell. I'm worried, though, if come the end of October, middle of November, and Campbell's still performing like this, oh yeah, then that's definitely going to like put some salt in the wound. But I think it's just, I think it's just Edmonton's gonna pull off some games where they just outscore them, 8-4, 8-5 kind of games, and it's just gonna happen a lot. And I think it really to me just depends on just their top 6. I mean, McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, RNH, Kane, Yamo, Moto, Puljujarvi. Now I will say too, right? Defense is very lackluster right now. Although I haven't seen any problems with Brett Kulak. Still great. You can tell Bouchard is still young. But the older he gets, he will become more sustainable, more confident. I mean, what do you do with like Barry? I think you got to trade him. I think you trade him for some assets, right? Like,
it is is a hard player to trade, though.
it's hard. It's value, man.
His value isn't the same when it was back in Colorado.
No,
sadly.
not at all.
But anyways, I'll jump into this conversation. No, Edmonton is not my number 1. They are my number 2. And I saw a few comments about this, about people comparing Toronto and Edmonton lately. And you have two teams that are very offensively powered and just don't have a true defense or a true goalie that you could rely on. But I'll give Edmonton some credit. You could get past the first round. I'll give you that. So that's, I guess, pretty hard for Toronto to do. But if you see, you kind of get what I'm seeing here. 2 elite offensive teams here with kind of lacking in defense. And, yeah, Jack Campbell isn't off to a great start. I got to give credit. Skinner is starting to show off some potential and talent for you guys for sure. But Jack Campbell, if he doesn't turn around soon, that's going to be an ugly contract for sure.
Yeah. Definitely the third of this season feels a little bit like I may be wrong, but start of the season. Let me explain why I put Calgary at 2. I think just the big change in the core of the team, although it's fared well right now.
Yeah.
Again, it's the start of the season. Calgary line's looking awesome. Huberdeau line getting points, looking good. Just waiting for that Huberdeau goal, right? Still waiting to like Lindholm to start really firing it up and all that good stuff. So I think that might set back a little bit. Another thing too is Markstrom's been kind of sloppy right now.
Oh God.
Luckily Vladar has played pretty good, especially against the Oilers there. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
It's to me, it really just all depends on the drive of McDavid, and that's just the core of the Oilers. If they really want to win or really want to prove something, they got to do it. Like they have to.
Yeah.
And they have to now. And they literally say it's all in. It's an all-in season. That's exactly why I'm like, all in? Okay. Yeah, you better prove to us that you guys are actually all in. Because if McDavid scores 160, let's say he does, as I predict, and you don't get the results from last season, that's gonna like sting a lot.
That's very fair. I can see Edmonton actually do take in the first spot in the division because of that, because they have the same mentality of you outscore your opponent. And as much as I do see some sympathy in that, I do have to put Calgary number 1 because you have a team that's mostly offensively looked, but you look at Calgary and you have a Jack Adams winner coach right behind him in Sutter that has a really well-built team. Like in the offseason, you do pick up Huberdeau, another offensive elite first liner for you. But then you also have Uyghur that added more depth to your defense.
Yeah.
So your defense is looking deadly as you see it with Chris Tanev and Uyghur already. But you do mention the Markstrom problem. Vladar did get extended and well deserved in my opinion. But it's really tough because like you look at Calgary, it's such a like all round built team in a sense.
It is difficult. And from the start of the season, the Flames seem like their line combos, like I was saying, are working well. Defenseman too, but that one game, the Buffalo game without Hanifin, we're really missing him.
Oh god, that was such a bad game.
You just hope that the season kind of pans out like last season, where just a lot of things are going your way.
Yeah.
But I think this team I have a lot of confidence in the Flames. So even if they're not even first in their division, which I don't even think really matters, they'll make I think they can make the playoffs and do something.
Hey guys, that was our Pacific Division predictions for this season. I hope you guys did enjoy it. What did you think of that tier list? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it right? Is it wrong? What do you think? Drop it in the comments down below. T-Dog, I'll end it off with you.
Alrighty, well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash the like button, or leave a comment if you enjoyed it. And question for you guys: how you guys liking the season so far? There's been a few odd, successful teams, I would say.
Except for them.
So who's the most whatever? Because Philly's up there, and I mean, I guess Torts, But hey, it's been pretty good. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you on the flip side there. Peace.
See ya.